Well, good morning, everybody, or whatever time of day it is when you're listening to it. I know for me, it's morning right now. Just about 7:30. But we're heading out to old Hoosier National again. Headed out to old Hoosier National again. Oh, the Charles C. Deem Wilderness. All right, the wilderness of Charles Deem, who he owned all this land, and he was I think he was some sort of, he was really into plants, basically. I think he had a degree or something, botany, and stuff like that. I'll have to revamp that. But I know basically he created all these trails, and he would spend a lot of his time out in the woods. As he said, just to, I mean, not quoting him exactly, but he would say just to, relax. He would go out in the woods to relax, and he would identify trees and plants. And, he's identified however many trees and plants, species on this land and everything, and created these trails. And so that was Charles Deem. And so now this section of Hoosier National Forest, it's like just a big hunk in Hoosier National Forest. The Charles C. Deem Wilderness is in Hoosier National Forest. Okay, so now there's this section of Hoosier National Forest named after Charles C. Deem, just dedicated for people to go out and enjoy time, out in the woods. So that's what we're gonna do today. And so we're gonna go to the barn. I gotta go to the barn in the morning. We're gonna turn out the horses, feed them, clean their stalls, do everything they need for the day, all those chores. And then we're gonna head down, and should be there by about 1. I'm hoping to be there by 1. It'll probably be 1:30 to 2. It starts getting dark at I want to say 6. It's dark. 6 p.m. It is dark right now. So and it's supposed to get, I think, like 10 to 15 degrees tonight. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little excited for that, honestly. So I get to test out this new canvas bed sleeve I sewed up. And just kind of get some more ideas of how my sleep system is. To try and dial in what you need in a sleep system, and dial it in, because, hey, listen, we're running a wool blanket and a sleeping bag, and a very, and a browse mattress / raised bed thing, depending on what we do with it. So anyways, yep, we're gonna head in the barn now, get that all taken care of, and then we'll be heading down there. Well, started snowing. There was 0 snow on the ground this morning, and now we've got this, and it's still steadily coming down. I'll tell you right now, I bet I got so much snot on my nose. I just got this wool coat, some Legendary Whitetails. It was on sale for $67. This thing is awesome. That coat. So I'm telling you what, and the snow just brushes right off of it. Doesn't seem to sop up the water too bad. So warm. But also got my silk scarf on my neck. Telling you, underrated. Keep your neck warm. You keep your neck warm, you're gonna have a much different day. But I usually wear a cowboy hat when I'm out at the farm, or kind of just in general. And I let my hair grow out a little longer, and now none of my hats fit. So, and I'll tell you what, on days like today, when the snow is coming down, you really appreciate having a hat with a full brim, because it keeps it out of your collar, it keeps it out of your face. So I think it's time that I'm probably going to stop at the Boot Barn on the way out of town here, because I'm heading down to Charles Deem now. Now we're finished up here at the farm. Have the tractor nice and snowy. But we're gonna pick ourselves up a hat, and maybe I've been needing to get some new boots. Today would be the day to do it. Maybe I'll get some boots too. Pretty good week last week in work, so busted it out, but you reap the rewards. So a lot of welding. But anyways, we're pretty much gonna hit the road now. We're done with the barn, done with our chores here. So got a guy that does the barn on Sundays, so we'll be out in the woods relaxing. This snow is gonna make it a little more interesting. All for the better. You know what I mean? Makes it exciting. So I better get on the road. Also, so I got, jeans on. Like I say, I wear jeans because it's what I always wear, and for an overnighter, they say cotton kills and all that stuff, because cotton, isn't the best, because it cools as it evaporates, so you don't want it in the winter. But here's the thing. The fact of the matter is I'm wearing cotton jeans right now, which means I'm just going to have to go out in the woods and act as I'm wearing cotton jeans. That means I can't get them wet, okay? I cannot get my jeans soaking wet. So everything I do is going to be things that I do to not get my jeans wet. It just, you know what I'm saying? It's not, if cotton is dangerous when it's wet, if it was dangerous for you in your health when it's wet, then I'm not going to get it wet. You know what I mean? If I have to shelter up because I'm getting wet, then I will. If I have to build a camp in a different place than I was going to, then I will. You know what I'm saying? So, when you find yourself, or you're in less than desirable gear, you just do what you have to do to work around it. And this is one of those cases. So, whoops, we bought a hat. Whoops, we bought some boots. Oh boy, take those off. Yeah, we got some hat, we got some boots. How much does it cost? Well, comfort is priceless, right? Isn't that what they say? Anyways, yep, we got us some hat, we got us some waterproof boots. Put them on now and start the break-in process. Always nice when you get to break in your boots straight out of the store onto the trail. Oh boy, anyways. All right, we gotta get on the road, guys. I think this snow is supposed to let up in about an hour, so actually it might stop snowing by the time we get down there. But that's no fun, kinda, you know what I mean? But anyways, okay, getting on the road. Probably wondering why the forest looks like bricks. Well, that's because we got in a wreck. Oh my God. Car got towed. Dumbest wreck. This damn fire truck was behind me and this other dude at this intersection, blaring its horn at us to move out of the way. So I inch up and over to the right a little bit, and the guy behind me goes just through the intersection, to clear a hole for the fire truck. And then this lady comes through and just hits us both. So, no camping this weekend, guys. It's kind of hard to explain, so I just wanted to try and be as clear as I can. So, this is me here in the small red car, and this is the gentleman in the black truck here, and then this is a fire truck here, and this is the third vehicle involved here. So what had happened was these lanes are all full of cars. We're sitting here. The fire truck comes behind us as we're sitting. This is a red light, so all traffic is stopped here. The fire truck comes up behind us, and its sirens and its horns are going and everything. It can't
it's all blocked off, so it can't get through. So it starts honking at us, and not the horn that you typically hear, like the air horn or the pull string horn, but this is more like a steering wheel horn honking directly at us. And I'm going to demonstrate what that sounded like right here. Okay, this is just to demonstrate what it sounded like when the fire truck was behind us honking. What sounded like the horn that would be on the steering wheel. Like I said, it was honking. The people in the fire truck were honking at us, and it sounded like this. So it wasn't the normal air horn that you typically hear with the fire engine. They were honking at us to move out of the way so that they could get through. But yeah, so they're honking at us. We don't really have anywhere to go. So to clear a hole, I pull up right here in front of this car, and then this gentleman goes out this way to make a hole for the fire truck to pass. And then, so as I'm sitting here, this gentleman's pulled out here. All other traffic at the intersection was currently stopped. All the northbound, this is north going this way. This is, north. The traffic going this way was stopped. Traffic going this way was stopped. Everyone was kind of, waiting for the fire truck to do something. So, as this gentleman is pulling into the intersection, there's the third vehicle was driving northbound, and she hit the back of this truck and then hit me to where I was here, which is where we all stopped, and hit the front of my car. And then the fire truck just drove away. So that's kind of what happened there. Like I said, it's kind of a weird situation, and I just wanted to try and explain it as best as I could. I think it was an unfortunate series of events, and it just is what it is. Well, guys, like you saw there, so obviously we're not going camping, but I was excited to go out this weekend. I was excited to get out there this weekend because I have, I made this new bed sleeve. Canvas bed sleeve I sewed together that I was going to test out. Perfect weekend to test it out. Snowing, going to be cold. For some of us, that's exciting to us, you know what I mean? You see that snow and cold running in, you're like, oh, yes! Gonna have some fun this weekend. Get a little extra challenge, yeah, so I was trying out other packs too, and I got this really cool old, French pack, because I had gotten I've got 8 packs for $50 from this guy. So, and some of them have a little damage, and the strap ripped on this one, thankfully, before I left. So, glad I didn't have to deal with a broken pack strap, which, we got enough stuff to remedy that on the fly, but still. So, but here, I want to show you this pack sleeve. And I'll show you how I did my bedroll. I'll tell you already, I was getting down there, and I usually don't pack my tarp in the bedroll. I like to just pack my tarp separately so that it's easy to get to, and you don't have to unpack anything else, because I was heading down and I was like, man, it's going to be snowing. I'm going to have to get where I'm going, set up a shelter. I don't want to have to, now when I set up my shelter, I'm going to have to here's my takedown bow saw. I'm going to have to take all this stuff out, and I got my wool blanket in here. So while while the snow is coming down, I have to take this wool blanket out. And I got my canvas bed sleeve in here. And it's not that big of a deal, But still, it's like I could just drop my pack, take out my shelter, and start setting it up. Instead, now I got my wool blanket sitting out. I got my canvas mattress bed sleeve sitting out. So, you know. But this is what I wanted to show you. So I'm testing this out because they used to be for sale, and now I can't find them for sale anymore. And this is a slight modification. I've got another design that I've been thinking about trying. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible, the least amount of fasteners and everything possible. But look, so this is a sleeve of canvas, okay? We've got it, you know, a nice strong hem here on the edges. I've got it, you know, a double stitched seam here and all that stuff. Where you can pack this with dead leaves and dead grass, browse, whatever, okay? And then, honestly, to tie it off at the bottom, it doesn't have to be crazy. I put some tie outs here so you can lace it together. I don't even think you need those, honestly. Because really, to tie these things off, if you just roll it over like once, and then just here, actually, let me see if I can. I'm going to show you this on the camera. So look, if you have one of these bed sleeves, this doesn't have to be complicated, okay? You don't need a fastener. I am thinking about making something that has some buttons, but let's say I do make that, and even if that goes bad. So, I need to grab some bank line. All right, so to tie this thing off, let's say, so you can see here, this is a sleeve of canvas, right? That's all it is, just a big sleeve, canvas sleeve. So if you need to close this off, let's say you're making a browse bed with it, and you can use that as a stretcher. We'll talk about that in a second, like a raised bed type. So let's say you're using this as a browse bed, and now you want to close it up. So roll it over once, roll it over twice, okay? Get you a little piece of bank line, okay? And oh, this stuff is nice and stiff. Roll you a clove hitch, okay? Twist the loop this way, twist the loop the other way, put that loop behind the loop. Come on, Wobbles, get out of here. Now look, you've twisted this over, grab you a little handful, put your clove hitch around it, all right? And then tighten her down. Hold on. This camera's kind of getting in my way. Let me just tie me a clove hitch real quick here. Or you can just tie it like this. Sometimes when the stuff is still got the stiffness in it. Okay, so there you go. You tie yourself a little clove hitch in there. And look, that's holding that closed. Do another one on this corner, but that's all you got to do. That's not gonna, you know, it might roll open a little bit. You can honestly even grab it here in the middle. But last time I did this, when I was experimenting with just a tarp with the seams taped, this worked fine. So you can do that. Now down at the other end, okay, because really, if you're using this as a browse bed, you only need to stuff it at one end. Okay, you only need one open to stuff leaves in. One end open. So on this end, I've sewed in the middle here. See if I can kind of show you. So you can see this middle portion is sewn here. Okay.
Now this is left open because if you're going to use this as a raised bed in a stretcher like fashion, you can fit a plenty big pole through there, right? You can still fit it through there. And then let's say you're also going to stuff it with some sort of brush or leaves or grass and use it as a raised bed. Well, then you got this end closed, okay? Where you can decide probably the head end. And, you know, so far how I've tested it, just kind of out in the yard. I haven't even need to like tie these closed. If you're just using it as a browse bed, it doesn't even come out these holes. You know what I'm saying? So, and maybe you could stuff really coarse stuff at the ends to help. Maybe you can get some like some pine boughs or whatever and put them at the end to help leaves from coming out the ends here. But it really, my experience, now I haven't slept on it, so I don't really want to talk about how it performs too much yet. I'm just showing you what I'm experimenting with and trying it out. It's 2.5 feet wide, which the tarp the prototype I tested was wide enough for me. And I'm not a big guy, but I'm not a small guy. So we'll just see what happens. But I did want to show you guys this at least, since not making out to the woods this weekend. Got to go pick up the car from the impound today because they, oh man, I'm going to drive it home. I'm telling you, they didn't want me to drive it home. And all I needed was, I'm telling you, all you needed was a pry bar out there, and I would have been able to hold, or I wouldn't have been able to I would have been able to just pry the little part of the bumper that was rubbing into the tire and probably drive it away. No oil leaks on the car. It was still running. I didn't notice any damage. I'm pretty handy with cars, so, you know, a lot of front end damage, you know, as you guys saw, but whatever, you know. I can fix it, see what insurance says about it. But in the meantime, I don't know if you guys have ever had anything in the impound, but if you got something in the impound, first thing you want to do is get it out. Because, you know, they'll just start racking up those storage fees on you, and they'll take your firstborn. So, you know, we're going to get that. We're going to get that out of there, and otherwise do some more stuff around the house and probably work on some other projects I wanted to sew up. But, you know, we'll figure out when we're going to get back out there soon, and we'll just have to make it happen. So thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned.